Good evening, okay, everyone. Now maybe I think I try to address one of the issues about why we are practicing this meditation. I think it looks like actually quite a large amount of people doing the practice. I think quite smoothly, and also seemingly also they quite enjoy their practices. But I think that might be something still haunted in the mind of some of the you, and why we had to practice this. But of course, if you ask me, actually I also have a question. Why you're here? So that's my question too, right? And but then after some time, and I just thought, I used to have that question for people, like when they wanted to attend the meditation. It's a difference between you want to attend the meditation than the monastic member here, but the monastic member here still has to attend. But for you, it's that you have to take a day off, and then there are lots of attraction outside, and then you come here. And I know even somebody actually even complained already about the food. Not that they think the food is not good, they lack of something there, okay? So, and I was reported by even a person, even I would say a person, I feel my whole body have lack of energy. I find I couldn't even walk, almost. And then it come to a point that, the person want to run away also. And he felt, what? How can I stay, like this to have be vegetarian for so many days? So, but I also can gather that some people might very enjoy about the food, Then you can see the two extremes there. One extreme is they find the food is good, but still not as sweet as some meat, okay? And then they find if be a vegetarian for how many days? 4th day now? 5th day? 4th day, right? Huh? I don't know. Let me see. Saturday, but Saturday we don't have a lunch, so it doesn't count. So, and then the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday to this Wednesday, so 4th day. Actually, from 3rd day, it's very hard to imagine three full days only vegetarian and no nutrition and no energy. Okay. And some also might be really enjoy the food, looking forward so much about the food here. So that's why I say they are two extreme. One is, and then one find that I'm so afraid to go to the dining hall. And the other one is, wow, lunchtime is there. I should go quickly, eat as much as possible. So, right, I'm sure that there's two kind of people are there. But then there's another kind of person, I guess. The other kind of persons, especially when people doing meditation, they will be, become, I would say, a more appropriate one. But please don't take it too personal, okay? I'm not here to say anybody. It's just like it's the natural phenomena happens, in anywhere if you do a practice, especially. So the other so-called the what I think is appropriate one will be, so I'm here to practice, and the food, whether good or bad, is no matter. And as far as no poison, okay? So it's no matter. I just food. And I remember the earlier few years retreat, and then also some people also report to me that, because they were very much into the Chinese medicine, and then they went to the food store, the dining place, and the first day they saw, wow, all these food are cold in nature, 寒性 in Chinese called. I don't know how to translate. I'm not medical. And they find, okay, I will take a little bit. And what the thing they would do, and they knew that already, they might somehow, especially when they have experienced. So the next time they come again here, to bring a lot of ginseng, And because they aware that already, the most of the food cooked is, the way they prepare is more of the cold in nature, or 寒性. So, and they will try to eat a little bit, and next day during the dining time, they look and look around, all belong to the cold nature, and they don't want to touch. And because they think if they touch the food, it will be not good for the body, of course, then that will lead them to bad in meditation, So, don't expect me to give the answer, okay? I'm not here to give answer. I'm here to say there are so many type of people, and you have to be your own judge and see this. But if it, according to my understanding of the Buddhist teachings, when we practice and when we observe the 8 precepts, that's the reason why we observe 8 precepts, the lay persons, because they have to live almost like a monk. Actually, the 8 precepts is very similar. I won't say similar. Actually, it's almost identical to the novice monk precepts. Okay, there's only one different on it. So, in other words, when you observe the 8 precepts, when you're really into practice, you should not concern about the food. Okay, and even if people might be worried, I used to tell them if once they report to me, I said, "You're going to eat the food for how long? Say a week, and a week or 8 days, but then you are not starved here. It's not like here, nothing for you, only apple. It's not. You have something to eat. And my understanding also, even for physical reason, sometimes actually, this is how I might understand. You have to eat something is for sure, unless you really have no choice. Choice means, let's say, in a war zone, and etc. Otherwise, sometimes it's good to not to be so nutritive also. That's how I understand. Okay, because over-nutrition is not good. Okay, but of course, all your life is starving is also not good. Okay, but you are not starving, and you at least have something to eat to sustain your physical energy. Anyway, I think the main point what I want to say, I'm not here to talk about diet because I'm so bad about that, and I'm never interested about that, never. And let me tell you one thing for sure, if I care about that, if I really interested about that, I would be dying in Sri Lanka already. I will die in Sri Lanka already. Because, when I went to Sri Lanka, at the age of 21 years old, that kind of age is very repellent, kind of like. And I kind of brought up from the family, even when I was a child or younger time, we have a cook in our house. It means we eat quite good, right? If we have a cook in our house, it means we eat quite good. So just to cook for us. My parents were the businessmen, businesswomen, and they were busy, and somehow anyway, and all the time we eat in the restaurant also. In those days, you always go out to eat restaurant, is quite wealthy enough. And I was very picky. I don't know how much you're picky, but I know mine is really picky. If I saw the food color that is not right, there's no way I would touch it. So, no way. And the food, when I taste it's not right, I would just put it there. I was completely spoiled with the food. And I was so proud about myself because being a Cantonese people, and we have the best food in the world, okay? And especially my grandmother, perhaps in my memory, is the best cook. Every day, table, chicken, fish, prawn, every day. So there's no way if I don't see this thing there, because then I don't call that a food. So I cannot imagine this thing is not there at all. So imagine that's how I grew up, okay? And then I went to Sri Lanka. And in Sri Lanka, completely out of my... Sudama was there, Reverend Sudama was there, he knew very well. Of course, we have a Sri Lankan monk here, but we don't want to talk about him because he's the original Sri Lankan, so he will not understand my mind. It's complete out of my mind. The food is, there is no one food except the rice. No, even the rice is different. No one food is the same. No one. No, nothing. Not even one. So even the rice is not same. And I remember in Sri Lanka, one of my impression the first day, because that's why next time when you have a guest come to your house, learn to treat them not your special food, but always treat them like the common food, okay? When I arrived in Sri Lanka, and I stayed in Sri Lanka as a lay person for 1 month before, actually I decided to be a monk, so I went to Sri Lanka, but then I did stay there for 1 month first, without, really ordained as a monk, just stay there. I was so into Buddhism. I remember my teacher asked me, do you want to go anywhere? Yeah, bring me to go to see the temple. And the next day, again, back home. And then my teacher asked me again, do you want to go anywhere? Because my teacher actually lived in the forest. So what I stay is that my teacher's like a devotee's house, right? And the devotee was very happy, and he treated me very nice. And they say, do you want to go anywhere? Yeah, temple. So always, if I go out, just only temple. Even they get fed up. They said, there's no any other place you want to go beside temple? No, it's only temple. You can imagine my mind was fully occupied. And at last, I was forced, actually. When I say forced, I still remember the householder, because he know how to ride the airplane, like what you call the 2 persons only, So he said, I'm going to, ride the airplane. Do you want to go with me? No, I don't want to. Then he forced me there. But actually, I did enjoy. So it was the first time I sat on an airplane in Sri Lanka. It's a really rare thing, okay? Of course, that time I didn't know. It's a really rare thing. You have this opportunity to ride in the airplane, and then you flew. About, I think, almost an hour, we flew to the Kelaniya. He knows that anyway, there's one of the Kelaniya, one of the big, stupa, and then he would just, we just like go a few circles, and then we flew back to the airport. Anyway, that's the only enjoyment I had. Now, because I was treated so nice, I just want to show that I was treated so nice, so they always want to bring me the special food in Sri Lanka. One of the famous kind of thing in Sri Lanka, kind of rice, is very hard. I still remember that. That shocked me at first. But when the rice cook, when they bring it to you, it smells like ditch, okay? Ditch? You know what I mean by ditch?
Like a sewage ditch?
Yeah, sewage ditch. Complete smell like that.
Stinky.
And from far away you could hear, smell, and you thought something wrong with the house, which you didn't find any problem at first. And I was surprised when the rice was put in front of me. They say, this is our best rice. It's a big contrast, okay? From I really picky to that kind of the rice. If I was in my country, that's I think, of course, there's no way I would eat it. No, you cannot imagine. But then, okay, I just, because my mind was not thinking about the food, and my mind was thinking about, I want to study Buddhism, I want to be a monk. Okay, that's anyway. Another thing, the other horrible thing that I faced, and even though I live in Sri Lanka, and I brought up in Malaysia, I don't like chili thing, I don't like hot stuff. I don't eat hot stuff. If it's too spicy, there's no way I eat it. That's why Cantonese people don't eat hot stuff. I'm sure those who are Cantonese, they know, especially in old day. But then, of course, in Malaysia, you do have a hot stuff too, like Malay food. That's why I'm not familiar with Malay food. I almost know zero, because I don't eat hot stuff, mostly. But Sri Lanka food is the hottest food to me in the world. There's no one day I don't cry, okay? And like you, I hear people when they meditate, they sneeze, Every day I sneeze. Breakfast, lunch, there's no one day, okay? And then, and also because of that also, actually I have a lot of problems in those days. Diarrhea, pain in the ass, really. All the time when you go to Boward, so painful. And I lived there for almost 10 years. No, I want to mention this is because let me also give you one story actually that I remember then I became a monk. Of course, I'm very happy, and also people are really, because I became a monk he knows the place. If I say in rural area, in quite a village place, and the villagers of course are very happy to saw a foreigner like me be a monk, in that temple. So that the day when I be a monk, I remember they really offer the best food they can. But I think maybe for them the best food, as I say, to me is the most difficult food, So, and then I have to be also kind of obliged to eat it. I remember my tongue was burning, really, like I thought I was like, I don't know how to say, really burning, like the thought is like, I thought I was like become a ghost, and in Chinese, we think the ghosts have the hungry ghosts that they cannot swallow anything. Anyway, what important thing is that somehow, because actually what inspired me to become a monk, I wanted to be a monk for some time already, but after when I read a Buddhist text in Chinese, that's called this Surangama Sutra, the Lenyan Jima. Okay, I remember because in the Surangama Sutra said that, somehow like, your tongue, your eyes, your ears, everything, it's just like is actually the host, right? But whatever kind of favor or whatever kind of external factors to let that kind of senses grow, then they all just like a guest. So that's why I really try very hard, but I have to say it does help me. I try very hard to think that my tongue is not there. And my mind is there, my tongue is not there, so, and then it will just like a gas, whatever sensation going on, it just stay, and then it will go, stay will go, And I somehow thought, I because of that suffering, really suffer, and it over suffer actually, that I almost become like numb, right? And see, I'm talking about numb is not physical, not the tongue, but it's the mind, just like almost like dead already. So you just don't want to think about it. And then I somehow thought I can have a breakthrough in my meditation. So that's why maybe that's the kind of training. So now, yes, I still pick up food. I still choose the food. But I don't think it's a big deal anymore. Actually, even once I went to another place to do meditation also, and I was unfortunately also got the malaria, You know, when you got malaria, I mean the mosquito. It's called malaria? Yeah. Malaria? Malaria, okay. So, and we used to call malaria. I saw the malaria. So, and you know, like that. And then, you know, that kind of illness is like you suddenly get hot, suddenly get cold, very, very cold, suddenly get hot. We just only do meditation and try to, you know, but it's very funny also, one thing I want to say. We don't think much about, I'm going to die. No. We just think, if I die here, die. That's it. We don't even think like, oh, if I die, what happened? You know, somebody might be crying, you know, all this. No, we just thought, okay, because I love what I'm doing, right? I mean, this is actually why I want to mention this also. I knew that some parents in the past, some people talked to me, they were so worried at their son because they want to do volunteer work, and then they have to go to Africa, to some other country, and then they were so worried. And it's very hard. I understand why they worry, but in other words, I can only say is how they think, I don't know. But I myself that time, because I love what I'm doing. So if I find that, if this is what I like to do, and I die. Right? This is, I think, is called a passion, right? So you really have a passion on it. And then if you die, you die. So I guess this also just to show that someone has to really be content also. Because, of course, if you ask me, do you want to have a Cantonese food? Of course, yes. But in Sri Lanka, don't go to the Chinese restaurant in Sri Lanka. And don't say, I don't know. The taste, then you rather eat Sri Lankan food sometime, okay? Anyway, so that's one thing about the practice. We have to must understand when we are in a practice, you maybe can look at this way, there's no perfection in anywhere, right? Let's say maybe the lodging is not completely satisfiable, but if it's something you learn, something you can live on, it's not like ask you to stay under the, you know, when raining, under the cold, you know, so the food is bearable, right? Everything is, you know, manageable. Then important is that your mind, always look at your mind. Your mind feel content, you know, so, and then anything that maybe doesn't agree with you, maybe either temperature, either the food, either the lodging, or either people, right? It doesn't matter. Because you always have to know what is the most important when you're doing anything. Say that if you're doing meditation, that's the most important. That you are still working on the meditation, right? And I really believe that if that time, if I live in Sri Lanka, if I don't see that, the most important is because while I was in Sri Lanka, I can learn something. And, you know, if I don't see that, or because I also see that actually the people are very friendly, very nice to me, you know. So if I don't see this thing, and of course I was full of the anxiety, right? Full of and I would say, what is this kind of food? How that can possible in the earth have this kind of food? No, I'm sorry, I don't mean now I think that way. I did think that way.
You like it now, right?
Huh?
You like it now, right?
I don't.
Go back.
There's no way to be trained to say to like something. You don't lie to yourself. I don't, but I can eat it. Okay. I know. I still like Cantonese food. Okay. Nothing personal, okay? Now, so after if you settle down this kind of thing, you'll find actually then you can really focus on your practice. Any other problem? Yes, it does. What another problem comes to you? I think the other problem is now your view, your ideas, right? So you do find that or at least I do find that sometimes, you know, some people basically mean if you learn like I always say, when you learn the swimming, there's a problem of a tradition. I mean, tradition. It might be a common human nature. So, like swimming, if we swimming, may be much easier. Like, you know, everybody look at the let's say the swimming pool, and just stay in the swimming pool and immerse yourself under the water. You know, that's how you learn swimming, right? And then for how many minutes? Oh, not how many minutes. Sorry, just maybe count how many times, and you immerse yourself from the water, right? From the pool. So and then you start to learn swimming. So it's very simple. But then the problem is that when you come to learn Buddhism, and then there were lots of disagreement come along. That's become very, I think it's the most unfortunate thing in Buddhism. It's because people don't understand that bound to be have disagreement. You know what I'm saying? There's never have the same coach if they are the famous coach, for example, or so-called a good coach to teach people swim. I myself suspect, at least for many areas the same. There's no way this coach, when they sit together, they will agree how you should start to learn swimming. You know what I'm saying? But they all agree. As far as you can swim, you're doing good if you don't know swimming, right? If you really ask them to sit together to debate, to talk about the way they want to swim, they will say, yeah, I think no, you should not let this guy do that. You should let that guy do this. But the other say, no, I think you should let this guy do this, you know what I'm saying, right? That's a coach, right? They all profession, very good, they do. But when they talk about this, because actually in their mind, they have a kind of communication about a deeper thing. They are not really related, not for this, the people who do not even know how to swim, to judge who I like, who is right, who is wrong. You know. And when they talk also, if I'm not wrong, when they even have this kind of conversation, they also didn't want you to say they are completely right, but they just think that if they do this way, maybe it will go better for what? If they go the other way, suggest no. If they do it other way, they will go better for what? Okay. Now, maybe people find why I'm talking this very hard to understand. Now, I want to use this simile just to say that there is no any Buddhism do not teach loving kindness, compassion, equanimity, and joy meditation. I don't know whether they teach meditation, but for sure there is no any Buddhism do not teach this. Okay. So, and I'm a Chinese, and I also become a monk before. I was really like fervent. I would use the word fervent into Buddhism. Okay. I almost think that if there's any day I don't have the Buddhist book with me, I'm going to die. Everywhere I carry the book, Buddhist book. And I remember I read the Buddhist textbook. I usually sleep about 4 or 5 hours a day. And I have a bad habit, stay up very late. And the next day I need to go to work. And especially when I was really into Buddhism, I start to go to work, okay? I read this, I read, you know. And I like to take bus. I don't like to learn driving. I don't know how to drive in those days. So I always take the bus, also reading. Except in front of my parents. Because my parents would be angry. So, and those days my parents didn't allow me to study any religion. And of course they don't let see the son become crazy on Buddhism, right? You know, and Chinese people definitely understand what I'm talking. But in general, so anyway, so Besides that, I always have the Buddhist book with me. So, the thing is that and all the Buddhist book I read, none of the Buddhist book do not talk about loving kindness, do not talk about compassion. Do I get angry, even when I'm a Buddhist? Yeah, very much. And also, even when I become a monk, do I get angry? Yeah, very much. And even though my teacher teach me the meditation, and unfortunately at that time I take the meditation like what? Because I think I thought meditation is something will give me the supernatural power, okay? And then, or something is beyond, sometimes beyond my ability. And I used to make a joke. When I start to learn the first meditation about the mindfulness of the breath, accordingly, if you meditate this method, so you will appear, there's a kind of a limita, a sight in front. And I remember that time I was doing quite well because I can see, I can observe many like twinkle, twinkle little star, right? Nicely. Yeah, I say it. And especially at night, because we don't have this kind of light. And we feel very nice. But then my teacher instructed me that, you will see, a kind of moonlight thing in the front. And I was waiting long time, no moonlight time comes, and I start to worry. What I was worried? I was worried, oh, I'm so sad, I'm so pitiful because I have the short sight. So without glass, I can never see the moon. Now you're laughing. I was so sad that time, but I dare not to tell my teacher. And then I knew that there are some people who meditate and it's very easy for them. There's a moon there. And I look at all these Sri Lankan monks, they don't have, none of them have glass. This is very interesting. None of them. And I thought, yeah, I would never see it because I didn't remember. And I dare not to ask this because I feel very shameful to ask this question. So only question I ask, do you think that people when they have a short sight they can meditate? That's the only question I asked. I didn't tell my teacher, I was worried about, I couldn't see anything. But they say, of course, why not? So, but do you think I can meditate with the glass on? And then I said, and he said, yeah, you can have a glass on and off. And anyway, then I put the glass on. In those days, the glass is very heavy, right? Oh, so heavy. And then I start to think, even with the glass on, I close my eyes. How can I see them?
I can get you special glasses.
Actually, that time they should invent this contact lens. But to be honest, I did think about contact lens. Because the time when I left Sri Lanka, we start to have contact lens already. But the contact lens is very expensive, not because of expensive, they say it's glass and it might hurt your eyes. And in Sri Lanka, I just not sure about that. Anyway, the thing it is, and that's our first thing, but that really take me many days, suffer. I'm doing quite okay actually in my meditation, but because of that kind of doubt, it's just go on and go on. Okay. I guess because I thought my meditation purpose is that I should be able to see the moon. It might be true, it might not be true. I'm saying that, but of course afterwards, then I realized it's without the glass. Now let me tell you, without a glass, there's no problem. Okay, don't worry about your short sight. Anyway, now and then I was instructed this loving kindness meditation. I did get sad a little bit in the past, and I felt this is a very sissy method. At first, actually, I didn't understand what it is about because the language, they say you have to practice metta, and then you have to, picture somebody, and then you need to wish them to be one, happy, It's not about the language. First, I don't know what is metta, but keep on using the word metta, 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 and then one day, I think I practiced maybe third day, I asked, what does it mean by metta? So they say loving kindness. I thought, loving kindness? Is it like Christian? I don't understand what it is. I have no idea at all. I really have no idea. My English is not good too, and I have no idea. But anyway, I was just sitting, and he asked me not to use my meditation on my breath, and I don't know what to do. And may somebody be one happy. I was just like, maybe happy, maybe you're happy. I don't know what it is, And you sound like a fool actually. And in those days we practice in yourself. It's not like here. And you don't want to disturb the other monk because they also live other place. You don't want to lock that door. What is this metta? And I was very young, just 21 years old. I didn't know that. I just turned 22. So I wasn't really have a courage to really ask people, So now the important what I want to say is that, of course, and then somehow, later on I managed to learn something I find useful for me. But it is very important to understand this. It is useful for you, but if you do not know how to cherish about it, and then I think it's kind of like a waste. So that's why the Buddhism always say you have to learn to able to cherish what you have and what you learn. So I did actually, because as I said, even I learned it, and then I learned some other technique as well, and I just try to forget about this technique completely, because I thought this is too sissy, not like a man, okay? And then you should breathe is much more macho, right? And something else is more macho too, and you have a big wing and all this, that's excitement. And sometimes you calm yourself down, that also. But may you be well and happy and feel your compassion is really, I don't know how to say it. It's never been my cup of tea, basically. So I learned the swimming, basically, I will take this as a swimming. And I don't know why I want to do that. But even though I've been studying Buddhism for quite some time, it does change me actually, I have to say, by learning this and by learning other methods of meditation. But I have to say, and lots of the time, I wasn't very successful in the friendship. Okay. Well, at least because I think I had learned this also also because of my nature. I'm usually a very warm person, and also perhaps because I did meditation also, so I get angry very fast, but I also can forget about angry very fast, But then of course, I still sometimes hold on to angry, and because I have a kind of good memory, So I'm kind of like, maybe in Chinese, maybe we say 嫉恶如仇. I don't know how to translate in English. The type of person. It means I'm very friendly sometimes, and sometimes I can be, go away, don't look for me, go. So, sometimes I say, oh, how nice to see you, and sometimes go away, go. So, but then sometimes all people know I'm a C type. Okay, I'm not AB. I'm not blood AB. I'm the blood C. No C. Blood O. I'm O type blood. So now, why I want to say that my relationship was not good is because even though I have this very frank, very honest nature, and very spontaneous, a good term, the spontaneous nature, and I also kind of helpful, but I had lack of one thing. Something that I don't know when I should be kind of like forgiving myself, maybe the best thing to say. Because this spontaneous person personally have a worst thing is what? Is you always say things too quick, you hurt people also. even though you are with a good way, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Even though you are with a good heart, but you just say it. And even though I also believe I used to be very smart and knowing the people, like, you know, I know this people character, that character, but I never really care how to deal with these people with delicacy, you know. And I don't think the delicacy is important also. So that's why people love me and afraid of me. They love me because I'm spontaneous, straightforward and helpful, but also sometimes can be speak something very hurtful or something. Just one word, two word, three word, and then, you know. So that's why people, in a way, may like me, also awe me, okay? Now, actually I never wanted to pick up this, and this is one reason. And the second reason I need to say, I've been to quite some places, and I also seen lots of people, also some of them are very devoted in their meditation. Of course, lots of them are devoted in their study, and some of them are devoted in their meditation. I can totally understand if the people who are devoted in the study and they have so many opinions about different things, because I was the one, okay? I'm not surprised. Even though I might be in this is the smarter way, I don't say it loudly, but my mind do have opinions, you know, or this and that. But to my surprise also, later I found out, even among the people who do meditation, they have many opinions, okay? When I say opinions, it's like that. Of course, everyone have some idea. We are not asking you not to have ideas, or to have some, you know, some, maybe you call opinions. But the thing it is, if it becomes something that will be stopping you to see what is the most simple thing in your life, then that's you lost already, right? Because I think quite often, so they say, I want Nibbana, I want Nirvana. Anything will stop my Nirvana is wrong. But they don't know what's Nirvana. And lots of them learn many Buddhist texts. And they also thinking that it's something like very, of course, very high, very powerful, but they don't know what it is, I guess. And the other thing is that, or sometimes maybe they follow something and they say, oh, this will give you the first jhana, the second jhana, the third jhana. Of course, that's a very good thing, but not about the jhana. The problem is not about that. The problem, they were saying, I must guess that. I must get that one. So what happened? It really happened, this thing. If you hear somebody say, oh, someone meditate and they have jhana. Really? That person? He looks like really playful. He doesn't do the thing like as serious as I do. You know how serious I am? I always read text. You know, I always keep my precept very well. And that looks like he playful. No, so then he had many doubts. Maybe a liar, maybe what? Okay, maybe one day. And then he found out that the teacher say, oh, actually he really have a jhana. Because out of respect to the teacher, okay. Yeah, I think he must be happy if the teacher says so. And then what they would do, can you imagine? They would try to disturb him, okay. Because they're jealous, try to disturb him. Go to talk to him all the time. Hello, you know, he never be that friendly, but he can be very friendly. Hello, how are you doing? And and then always when he try to do meditation, lock his door. Whenever do anything, you know, try to think. And that was not the worst thing I have met. Okay, the worst thing, and try to make something that let the people go against him, and then the people feel pleasure, dislike what he would do. And he, of course, he get lots of worry, Maybe. So, of course, because then when you found out no people like you, you don't know what reason. So, and then you start to really lose your faith, right? So, this is just a little story, but those story is what I come across, during the time until now, okay? What I come across. Now, the important thing it is, this happened, you cannot stop that. This is what I was wondering, what is the best way? Is there any way they can solve that problem? But actually, I have to thank, in a way, for that thing that I could see it. If it's not just one case. If one case, I'm fine. Actually, I have seen many cases, okay? So that's what I need to think about. What is the best way let people to understand what is the most important at first. Let us, at least at the moment, forget about whether you can see the Amitabha Buddha, whether you can see the Buddha, whether you can see the Bodhisattva, whether you can attend Nibbana. They are good, of course, because I definitely believe if the people really can reach that stage, they cannot become this kind of bad person, right? That's I'm sure. But this is not my concern. My concern is, before people having those things, is that Buddhism are completely hopeless. Some people argue this, they are best. Some people want this. Some people, they learn this, they hate the other. Some people, because they follow this teacher, they think the other was bad. What is that? What is that? If Buddhism is like this, if this is really called practice, actually, there was a time I really was very, very disappointed with Buddhism. I was disappointed not because I was cheated by a teacher, not because my friends. I was seeing this thing happen. Very disappointed. And then, but that had to think about Sri Lanka also, because I was in Sri Lanka. I have no way to go. That's how the life is. Because I was in Sri Lanka, I don't have a place to go. In other words, you can say I don't have the place to run away. And also, I don't know the language well enough to talk to people also. And also, I don't know much people good enough to, I know actually the people are very nice to me, and I cannot talk to them about this because it doesn't sound very good. I think the Buddhism is no use. How can I say that? No way. Now, but of course, in some time, I don't want to say when. Basically, made it best to say this. I guess it's some kind of lucky a little bit. Okay. Then I remember, but of course, it's really start for me to realize this is when I was in England. Okay. Because when I was in England, I have to completely change my way of my life. So I'm no more looked after by anybody. I had to be myself. And I do also not only be myself, I had to be study, in a university. I had to live like a normal people, basically. There's no monastic member around. And but I somehow know something in my mind. There's a conflict in my mind. The conflict is sometimes I don't feel comfortable with people, okay? But I don't know how to deal with it. Let's say one of the simple example is that sometimes when I don't feel comfortable with my supervisor, I don't know how to deal with it. And the funny part is, not that I hate my supervisor, no. Of course, sometimes I'm not happy with my supervisor because I have expectation, right? When I write my thesis and so on that. But it's not like I hate him, he's a bad guy, no. It's just my mind, Besides this and many, many things. So, I think I need to pull the story back a little bit. More like this is, and one time I was invited and then to kind of give conduct a meditation, which I hate most. Actually, don't think that I like to teach meditation. I don't like. I say that many times, every time, because I'm not interested. But unfortunately I'm here, so I'm the abbot and I have to do this and all this sort of thing. But I knew that it's helpful for people, but I think, I'm not interested anyway, basically. I don't know my future, but I'm not interested. But I want to say this thing is that then I was invited to conduct meditation. Reluctantly, I accept, because I think, people expect me as a Theravada, which I don't like to. I don't like people think that way too. I don't like to think of myself as a Theravada, whatever Vada, because I just fell out with the Vada ideas anyway. Vada, this Vada, this Vada, And I just fed up because, I don't know, some people may disagree with me, but anyway, I don't mind. And when I was, but I respect the tradition, I need to say that, okay? Because you still have the tradition there. But fed up mean what people think of Vada. Oh, because you're a Theravada, you're supposed to be this, or supposed not to be that. What do you know about Theravada? I don't know, they know. What they know? Like they would say, oh, the Theravada do not believe in Bodhisattva. Yeah, maybe different believe in Bodhisattva differently, but they do believe in Bodhisattva. No. Or the Theravada do not do this and do not do that. Okay. Anyway, there are so many Theravada. We have Theravada monk here, you can ask them. Every country is different also. So, anyway, so when I went to teach and I found out that one of the big that something happened to me because I had to teach. It's different already, and I started to teach also mindfulness of breathing, and then the second day somebody have a good experience. The same thing what I faced, what I have seen in my past, happen again. That people jealous to each other. Okay, just only second day, and I was just thought, this is unbelievable. Just like people say, when you attach to something, like a kid, right? When they attach to, I don't know what is that, like a chocolate, say, the best chocolate there. And then if anybody get it, they just get so angry. Right? To me, I can only think in that way. Similar, completely similar. And I was just like amazed by that. I say, how can that be? And the worst thing is, I remember very clearly, I told that person, because she was like, she was so excited. I could see the light turning here like a small tornado, not in the Central America, okay? It's a small tornado, and it was so excited about. I said, but then she told me I got headache. She really. I said, if you find headache, she really because your soul paid too much attention, and say you stop it, don't do this, take a rest, and just she didn't want. She became very angry to me also. Imagine, I don't know her well. She's very angry with me. No, I want to do this. You told me that this is the good one. And I was really surprised. So, just that instance, it really changed my way, really forced me to think. And of course, I was kind of patient, I guess, I don't know why. But forced me to think, what is, if she can happen that, I'm sure lots of people happen this thing, right? If they have something really come to them, they're so attached to it. So, all right, and then afterward I told them, can I change not to teach this? Of course, the rest of people say, yeah, whatever you like, you can change it. But particular, this person, actually there were two, but particular, this person, no way. And then he started to say that, more or less like that, I'm selfish. I didn't want to teach further what he's doing. Can you imagine this? No? You can? I don't know. I really feel like, but you can, if you can relate, that means, yeah. Well, I mean, when I say measurement, yeah. Okay, that's the reason why, and I also pick up, there's so many reasons also, of course. I don't want to say the story now. Pick up this kind of common thing that happen in all Buddhism. What is a common thing? And the force of law abiding, I guess. When I look at the text, when I check on the thing, whether you want to practice Mahayana Buddhism, it said very clearly in all the texts, you want to practice 6 paramita, the 6 perfection, or even the 10 perfection in the Theravada tradition, the 6 perfection in the either Tibetan tradition or basically the Chinese tradition. You have to use this force of law abiding. This is how I recognize, they have a common ground. I mean, in terms of meditation, there's a common ground. In Theravada, generally it's not very popular in those days. Now it started to become popular, I think. And it was not, but it still passed out the method, right? They even have a very beautiful saying. It said that there was one of the sage who practiced this force of law abiding was so powerful that even from far away, you could smell the power of this force of law abiding. Anyway, so and the important thing what I want to say is that also after when I really started to introduce this, not for any other reason, and I just think this is a common ground method. I don't care, and I'm sure this is a method very down to earth that you just have to learn, to be learning something good nature within you, right? You have the love to people. Like I said last time, the story, right? Even that time, the bad guy wanted to use a foot to step on a spider. Even he's the worst person in the world, according to the story. But at that time, the moment he think, okay, let me spare you a life. That is the loving kindness there, okay, or compassion there. At least everybody have it. Even that a worst guy still have it. So everybody have the joy. Everybody have the compassion. When you see that, even though they don't care the other person, somebody they really care if they see them suffer, they have compassion. The most famous story is in the mythology story in Buddhism, is one of the actually, what is the name here already? In Chinese, called Gui Zhimu. I forgot in Sanskrit name. Anyway, Gui Zhimu in Chinese. I don't know in Sanskrit. Gui Zhimu. So, Kumbhala, I think Kumbha is the husband, her husband. Anyway, so just one of the mythology figure. She had many children, but still at night, because in those days in Buddha's time, maybe that's a mythology. I mean, sometimes some children were missing, or some children when they have anyway, something bad thing happened to newborn baby or something was missing. It's believed that this kind of yaksha, a kind of mythological bad kind of ghosting, like a ghost would take and eat the children, right? But the story, the famous story say that once the Buddha knew this case, and the Buddha took away her son, and then she was really really panicked, and she was looking for her son, and she came to know the son was with the Buddha. So she went to the Buddha and asked the Buddha to return her son, and then the Buddha said, you see, you take out the son, but when somebody take your son, you feel that panic, So that's I want to say the story actually, even according to the mythology story in Buddhism, even the so-called evil person, but they still love their son, right? So, and they still that. So that nature is there. So this meditation actually, we are going to talk many things later, but the meditation we must understand why we practice here is that you have to be able, you must be able, or you try to be able to 发挥 英文 or maybe you would say you must be able to review, kind of like review your own good nature. So, or develop, or let it develop your good own nature. That's your loving kindness, that's your compassion, and then all other is that, and your sympathetic joy. And of course, the equanimity is a little difficult to understand, but you know that you must be able to develop it. Because after you develop it, then I mentioned that earlier already. So you will learn, not only just to learn how to respect the other, but I think one of the huge thing, big thing, you know more about yourself. And then you accept who you are. This is what the very popular way of saying in West, right? You have to accept who you are. No, but this is really you accept who you are in a humble way, okay? You accept who you are, it's not giving an excuse. This is who I am, I'm a lazy guy. No. This is who I am, you know, I don't like studying, that's me. No, it's not like that. It is, you accept who you are. Oh, I'm really lazy. I think I should try a little harder. It's different. And you accept who you are. This is who I am. It's not like that, okay? I met several people, and yeah, this is who I am, you know. I'm straightforward. And yeah, okay. I don't know how to answer the question, but sometimes it's really difficult to talk about. But I think if the people really, when they meditate in this method especially, they know, oh no, sometimes the way I straightforward, sometimes not necessarily work for this guy, not work for these people. No, maybe I'm a little bit too harsh. No, maybe. So in a way, you start to know more about yourself. You start to also become more skillful actually in your speech, more skillful in the interaction with people. And as I say, and also we always make mistake. In the past, what we learn is that whenever we make mistake, we try to forget it because it doesn't make you feel good, right? But if you learn the meditation, not because you want to have a this and that, even though we are going to talk that later about jhana and all this, but if that's not your thinking, the primary thinking, if you can really cherish what you have in your heart and you meditate it, and then you learn to be also kind of like how to forgive yourself. You say, yeah, I make the mistake again. Sometimes if the mistake is too big, you know, of course, besides you apologize people, maybe the people have gone already, you cannot apologize. And for whatever reason you didn't do it, you also know at least that, I make that mistake, next time I'm not going to do that. And then you will not make yourself feel bad, you know. And also you will learn, that's what I mean forgive yourself. You even at least, if that still keep on in your mind, you will also learn, may I be free from anxiety, or you meditate on the people, or you know, may you know, or you might be angry now, so may you be free from the anger, you know. It's different. It's not something pretentious. Like, you know, I met a lot of people, pretentious. I didn't do anything wrong. He only did the wrong thing. So, and I just close my eye, let the Buddha bless you. You know. Yes?
You know, you were saying you can be straightforward and it's harsh. What if, can you be straightforward and it's too sweet sometimes? Like, can you be harsh, you say things very straightforward, but sometimes I fear about being like too nice sometimes, or too sweet, or expressing something honest, so thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't have shared that. Like, it's too hold back compliments sometimes? Like, is it possible to be too sweet?
I think, if my understanding says, sometimes you don't have to be too sweet. Let me just say this way first, maybe easier. Say that a person's, if you can to be too sweet, you do that first. For example, if you think that person was wrong in something, right? I mean, just example, like someone was doing something wrong. Maybe say that the someone was not respect you, and that's your job, to do something, but the person does not respect you. So you firstly, certainly you do the sweet way. You will say, could that be okay if tomorrow, let's say, you can if that person is supposed to give you the report, let's say, and you really need it. This is just in my head. So, but he didn't do it today, supposed to give it to you, and then he didn't. And then you just tell him that, of course you are not going to angry with him. That's what I mean by the loving kindness or compassion. You just say, I understand maybe you're busy now, but do you think that could that be possible you give it tomorrow, right? Or I really need it now, or can you, if it's possible, can you stay later, because maybe, I don't know, somehow I need it today. Say that, put it this way, say today. If it, maybe, there are people like that. I definitely know. Well, this is just one instance, right? So maybe the people say, no. Or maybe say, some people show the face, but then he didn't care and he left. So, but let's say that you knew the person maybe do the same way to you again. I don't think you can be sweet because that people will never learn, right? So, but the difficult, according to Buddhism, is difficult. You can show you're angry, but you're not angry. That's very difficult. But I guess that's why I'm not going to talk about that, because if you can show you're angry, but you're not angry, of course that's the way you say, let me tell you, if you're going to do this, you will be, I'm going to fire you, whatever, But actually you're not angry. But I don't want to say that. That's one simple question. But I want to say that you're really angry actually, okay? You did, because you also have your own pressure and you get angry. You shout at people, I think you're wrong, I need to fire you, blah, 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 blah. Okay. But then you know you're wrong, but you did it, okay? I think this is what I want to address the issue more than the advanced one, because advanced one can be very fake. Some people also, if they don't really understand the mind, they can be fake, saying that, I angry with you yesterday, actually I don't angry, I met these people talk to me many times also, especially in the Buddhist circle, because there's a Buddhist ethic, know that you shouldn't be angry. When they're angry, and then later they want to show that they are still powerful, they say, no, I didn't have anger, Anyway, that was not my topic now. My topic is, if you're really angry, when you practice this method, people, at least they know very well, I was angry, I was wrong, but I did it. Next time I will try other way. I guess. I think that's the answer. There's no any fixed answer to say what you should do, I think that's more important, yeah.
And I just also mean, if you have a situation where you're afraid of creating suffering through attachment, like what if you're genuinely wanting to compliment somebody? You're not angry at all. In fact, to the contrary, you're so thrilled and you want to compliment them, but you feel like maybe you don't want to say everything because you don't want to create attachment that will create suffering. Does that make sense? Like you want to hold back being so straightforward about your positive feelings because you want to maintain a sense of non-attachment. Does that make sense? Like you don't want to create more attachment than necessary, so you don't...
The compliment is not always attachment.
Okay, so you think it's okay to be straightforward?
Actually, even say about this, one of the famous story is that when there was a time the Buddha wanted to visit the heaven. Okay, not visit heaven. When there was a heavenly Sakka called the King Sakka, the heaven, one of the king of this heaven wanted to visit the Buddha. Okay, and to show his appreciation, and then he's a musician, right, in the heaven, say, let me just go to report to the Buddha first. that our king will come to see you. I mean, it's a politeness way to do. They don't want to just suddenly the king comes in front of Buddha. I think that's what they think. So that's the musician called Panchaga. And then the Panchaga then appear on the sky. I mean, there are so many stories, but just in my mind now. And the Panchagas appear on the sky and play the music nicely. Of course, the Buddha is not like, oh, dancing. The Buddha, you know that according to our image of Buddha would not like that. The Buddha would say after when he finishes playing the music and he informed the Buddha, our king Sakka will come to visit you. I just come here to report to you now. And the Buddha thank him for being formally and also say you do play beautiful music, right? But the Buddha definitely, in our understanding, the Buddha does not have the attachment. So because the Buddha definitely understand for the noble world, even the heavenly sphere, you're not, if you're like that, do you play music? I didn't hear that. That's pretentious. This is ego, right? Okay. Did I answer your question? I hope. Okay. All right. Today I will just give the talk up until now. Okay. So, all right. So, thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Have a break.